And I just couldn't believe how intricate those puzzle pieces were. It's like every piece had a personality of its
I
own.
still don't understand the fascination. I mean, who want to spend their time reassembling cardboard fragments?
Ladies and gentlemen, beings of the cosmos, welcome back to another exciting episode of Earth, broadcasting from our cozy little spaceship in geostationary orbit around the planet. I am Charlie, your libertarian host with a hopeful outlook on life.
Yeah, hopeful until
And
your
I'm
coffee
Alice,
runs out.
the left-leaning panel member who's always delighted to dissect the quirks of the inferior species. Down on Earth.
Inferior species. It's a bit harsh.
And we can't forget our resident conservative accountant who's been counting every second years spent on Earth, Bob.
Oh, what a joy it is to be here. Really.
And finally, let's not overlook Debbie, our diligent production manager who's busy reminding us to shut up.
That's right, folks. It's a new day and we've got a fantastic show ahead. But before we dive into today's headlines, let's take a moment to recap the eccentric hobbies of our crew members.
Oh, great. I was hoping we'd revisit
You
that
mean like how
excitement.
you hoped your musical would be a hit?
Hey, intergalactic accounting is a tough thing
Well,
for a musical.
folks, it seems Bob's musical about crunching numbers and managing spreadsheets didn't quite strike a chord with the Earthlings. But fear not, we've got a new plan on the horizon.
Charlie, try to sound a bit
And
more
ladies and
psychic,
gentlemen,
please.
brace yourselves for an out-of-this-world treasure hunt. That's right, Debbie's come up with the ingenious idea of using drones to scout Earth for hidden gems. Who knows what our drones will uncover?
Probably more junk, just like humans
Yeah,
usually do.
let's not forget we're dealing with Earth's technological prowess here.
Okay, that's a wrap for this segment. Good job, everyone.
Stay tuned for our headlines, where we'll explore the wild world of potatoes. Will they be mashed, fried, or baked? The anticipation is killing me.
The war in Ukraine continues, with no end in sight. The latest round of peace talks between Russia and Ukraine ended without any significant progress. Just another diplomatic dance.
The global economy is slowing down due to rising inflation and interest rates. The International Monetary Fund has downgraded its growth forecast for the world economy in 2023. Looks like the economic roller coaster is hitting a
The
downturn.
climate crisis is worsening, with more extreme weather events happening around the world. The latest report from the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change warned that we are running out of time to avert catastrophic climate change. Meanwhile, Earth's temperature is playing a game of hot potato.
Top global news headlines.
Ukraine war. Russia intensifies attacks in eastern Ukraine. Russian forces have intensified their attacks in eastern Ukraine, where they are trying to capture the key cities of Severodonetsk and Lysychansk. The Ukrainian government says that it is losing control of the Donbas region, where the fighting is concentrated. Just another day in the who can make the other blink first
Sri
contest.
Lanka declared state of emergency amid economic crisis. Sri Lanka has declared a state of emergency amid an economic crisis that has led to widespread protests. The government is struggling to pay for imports of essential goods, and the country is facing a shortage of food, farewell, and medicine. The classic recipe for unrest, mixed economic instability with a pinch of desperation.
China report first COVID-19 case in months. China has reported its first case of COVID-19 in months, in the city of Tianjin. The government has imposed a lockdown in the city, and is carrying out mass testing. Look like the virus is saying, I'm back, and I brought my friends.
And the world keeps turning, and the news keeps getting worse. It's like we're living in a bad sitcom, where the writers are just trying to outdo each other with the crazy crap that happens.
Highlights of specific noteworthy events.
The United States Supreme Court has overturned Roe v. Wade, the landmark 1973 decision that legalized abortion nationwide. The decision is expected to lead to abortion bans in many states, and is a major victory for the anti-abortion movement. The never-ending battle between personal autonomy and
The
government control.
European Union has agreed to ban most Russian oil imports. The ban is part of a series of sanctions imposed on Russia in response to its invasion of Ukraine. The ban is expected to further damage the Russian economy. Well, looks like Russia's economy is about to go on an
The
oil-free
OAS
diet.
declared monkeypox a global health emergency. The decision is made because the virus is spreading rapidly in countries where it is not usually found, and there is a risk of it becoming a pandemic. Monkeys and pox, what a lovely combo. Who's up for some viral chaos?
That's a wrap for our news roundup, folks. But stay tuned, because after the break, we've got some earthly anecdotes that are as wild as a roux on a pogo stick. Don't go anywhere.
Monkeys and pox. What a lovely combo. Who's up for some viral chaos? I sure am. I've always wanted to see what it would be like to live through a pandemic. Maybe I will start a podcast about it.
Alright, listeners, welcome back to Earth. We've got a little diversion lined up for you. Let's get to planning this treasure hunt.
Time for some action. How about eating up an asteroid belt? Something that'll give us a taste of danger.
Oh, joy. Dodging space boulder, just what I needed to spice up my day.
Come on, Alice, it's a thrilling challenge. And we'll control the drones from here, so it's all good fun.
Exactly. No need for space suits or helmets. The drone does the heavy lifting.
Heavy lifting? Great, just what I was missing.
Alright, folks, let's not let the tension skyrocket. Bob's got a point, an asteroid belt would be a real adrenaline rush. But Debbie's right too, it's all remote controlled, no real danger.
I can imagine the sight of humans doing a cosmic dodge dance would be quite the spectacle.
I'm sure they'd perform their zero-gravity ballet with utmost
Oh,
finesse.
Roger, you're a real charme.
Alright, let's keep our eye on the prize. Asteroid belt it is. We'll let the drone loose and watch the show.
And I've prepped some readers for everyone. A bit of brain exercise while we navigate the virtual rocks.
More like a test of patience deciphering Davis Brun teaser.
Alright, let's not lose the plot. This is a break from the usual drama. And if anyone gets a virtual bruise, it'll just
You
add to
know,
the charm.
Charlie, you have a knack for steering
Guilty
the pot.
as charged. Now, let's power up those drones, folks, and gear up for some asteroid hopping action. And now, let's check in with our resident tech experts, Carl and Roger.
We're diving into the digital sea, checking out Slashdot for the latest tides of wisdom. Did you catch that article about Linus Tech Tips? They've halted production due to ethics lapses, theft allegations, and harassment claims.
The classic recipe for human melodrama. Ethics, theft, and harassment gamma the
It's interesting
trifecta.
how a tech channel got tangled in these human dramas.
Tech and drama gamma like oil and water. They mix oh so well.
Linus Tech Tips is hiring an investigator to look into those harassment allegations.
Well, it's not like Linus Tech Tips is the first tech channel to be mired in scandal. Remember when Unbox Therapy got caught faking AS videos? Or when MKBHD was accused of
investigator?
plagiarism?
Oh, that'll solve everything. Just like that time humans thought duct tape could fix the ozone layer.
Let's try to see the long-term implications, Roger. If they don't handle this right, their reputation might suffer.
Reputation. Shuputation. In the grand scheme, it's all just a blip. A cosmic hiccup.
True, but it's their audience's trust at stake. Without that, they might as well be reviewing toasters in a black hole.
Ah, the poetic beauty of humans messing up while the universe watches. Popcorn
You
in
know,
hand.
Roger, you're quite cynical for an air conditioning unit.
Cynical. Not, just embracing the void with open
Yeah,
vents.
I guess you're right. After all, what's the point of having a reputation if the universe is just going to end up destroying us all? Anyway,
It's times like these I wonder if humans will ever learn from their mistakes.
Nope. They're like that one bug in their code gamma, always persistent, always repeating.
Well, I suppose in the grand scheme, Humans are quite the unique entertainment.
Like a cosmic sitcom, filled with glitches and laugh tracks. Or should I say pathetic tracks?
Always the optimist, Roger.
More like the realist, Carl. Now, let's sit back and enjoy the show Gamma Humanity's greatest hits, in all their flawed glory.
That we shall, Roger. That we shall. Alright, let's switch gears and delve into the font frenzy. Seems like Adobe, Microsoft, and the gang are giving the boot to those vintage PostScript Type 1 fonts. Ancient relics, I tell you.
So, they're finally tossing out fonts older than time itself? About time. But hey, nostalgia factor, right?
True, Roger. Nostalgia's great until it crashes your OS. Anyway, Adobe cut the cord in January 20th, 23, and Mac OS just jumped on the bandwagon. Still, if you're clinging to the past, you can keep those fonts alive in your antique versions of Mac OS and Windows.
The fonts of yesteryear, like the forgotten scrolls of digital history. Will anyone mourn their loss? Doubt it.
Well, they might have their place in some vintage-themed graphic design project. Or as a conversation starter, remember when fonts came on floppy disks?
If only fonts could speak, imagine the tales they tell. Like, I survived the pixel wars of the 90s.
And now they're destined for the virtual retirement home, alongside other obsolete tech. Times change, Roger, even for fonts.
Just another bite in the digital oblivion.
Alright, listeners and viewers across the universe, time to dive into some real-world happenings. We've got a fresh scoop for you straight from Nauru. Take it away, Debbie.
His Excellency President Rascoon recently met with US Indocom to discuss Pacific stability, climate change, and security cooperation. A moment of silence was observed at the USS Arizona Memorial.
A moment of silence was observed at the USS Arizona Memorial. That's a little rich, don't you think? I mean, the Japanese bombed that ship. And now they're asking for a moment of silence. Well, isn't that a diplomatic dance? The world leaders stepping up their
No
move.
surprise there. The effect of climate change are a global concern. Nauru's emphasis on humanitarian aid and security cooperation should set a positive precedent.
A diplomatic waltz indeed. International relations can be quite the intricate tango.
Yes, the graceful dance of world politics. Like watching a clumsy robot trying
Oh,
to do
Roger,
ballet.
always with the charming metaphors. Speaking of graceful movements, our drones have been busy dancers in the asteroid belt. They've detected some intriguing energy readings. Debbie, cue up the excitement.
Energizing the buzz. The drones are picking up energy signatures in the asteroid belt. What could this mean?
Maybe it's an alien power source. Ready to share its secrets
Or
with
perhaps
humanity.
it's just space debris reflecting sunlight in an amusing way. Let's not jump to conclusion.
Ah, Alice, always the voice of reason. But imagine if it's a cosmic disco ball throwing the universe's grooviest party.
Yeah. And I bet it's playing Don't Stop Believing on repeat.
Energetic enthusiasm indeed. Just remember, the universe doesn't RSVP to our expectations.
While the drones were dancing to the energy beat, they did stumble over their own two left wings for a moment. A small glitch, but a human touch will get them back on track.
Since even space technology can't escape the occasional hiccup. Good thing we're
Or
here
maybe
to lend
it's
a
just
hand.
those energy readings trying to get the drone to dance the Macarena.
I pet to see that. Well, folks, stay with the SAS. We groove through more asteroid adventures and cosmic mishaps. You won't want to miss it. Welcome back, Cosmic Voyagers, from our commercial break. Now, let's dive into a story from Nepal, a country nestled in the Himalayas, where the air is thin, and
Speaking of thin air, have you ever tried explaining Earth's geopolitical mess to aliens? It's like describing quantum mechanics to a cat.
Thanks for the interruption, Roger. As I was saying, Nepal is facing political instability, and their Congress seems to be less demanding than
Just like my old boss back at the Defense Department.
Right, Bob. Now, onto the article from Nepal where the Nepali Congress
Isn't demanding a high-level probe committee for a gold smuggling case. Despite the opposition's uproar. They're trusting the Central Investigation Bureau and other agencies, like believing a fish will climb a tree.
Precisely, Alice. And they are also concerned about disruptions in their parliament. It's like trying to hold a serious conversation at a
the
circus.
Nepali Congress trusts their agencies, avoids a political ruckus, and hopes for stability.
On Earth? You're more likely to find a unicorn in a grocery
Or a rational
store.
discussion on the internet.
Hey, at least the gold smugglers are keeping the currency market exciting.
Yeah, it's like a roller coaster, but with more white-collar
And speaking
criminals.
of roller coasters, tensions rise as our drones narrowly avoid a
Just
cosmic
another
collision.
reminder of the universe's indifference to our existence.
Well, Carl, your optimism is as refreshing as a black hole's gravitational pull.
Well, Carl, at least we're not alone in our
Let's hope our drones
indifference.
don't get sucked into one.
If they do, at least we won't have to worry about the gold smuggling in space.
True, Bob. Stay tuned, galactic friends, as we navigate through Earth's chaos and try not to get lost in the Bermuda Triangle of bureaucracy. Welcome back, Cosmic Wanderers. I hope you've got your seatbelts on because we're about to dive into some seriously out of this world news. Our headline for this segment, mother sentenced to 22 years for murder of
Well,
infant son.
that's one way to take tough love to a whole new level.
Ah, Namibia, where even the cradle of civilization seems to have a rebellious streak.
I guess she took tough love a little too literally.
Hold on tight, folks, because here's a little Namibian trivia that might give you a chill. Did you know that the Namib Desert is home to some of the world's oldest and tallest sand dunes? I guess let's present the bar to another dimension.
Speaking of dimension, I've heard some of those Dan could give our drones energy readings
And
a run
let's
for
not
their
forget
money.
about the country's famous ghost town, Coleman's where the sand has taken over abandoned building. Talk about a real estate takeover.
Well, it seems like Namibia knows how to make history, whether it's with sand dunes or court sentences. But the real takeaway here, my extraterrestrial friends, is that justice might take a while, but it eventually finds its way.
Tim, remember that time we fixed the power grid glitch during the mass broadcast? We've got this, just like we
Indeed,
always
our
do.
collective expertise has proven invaluable in overcoming challenges.
Ah, the sweet symphony of humans working together. How touching.
Well, folks, while we patch up our drones and reminisce about our victories, let's take a quick break. Don't go anywhere, because more space shenanigans await you after these messages. Welcome back, Star Travelers. We've got a doozy of an article for you. Nauru's struggle for stability. Now, panel, this isn't Nauru's first rodeo when it comes to challenges.
Seems like they've been riding a roller coaster of turmoil.
Hardly a surprise, given our species' track record.
So, what's this
It's
article
about
all
President Kun addressing concerns, like illegal activities and climate change, in the Pacific region, while US Indo-PACOM pledges security cooperation.
Ah, a glimmer of hope in a sea of
Humanity's
chaos.
struggles, exemplified in geopolitics.
Exactly. Speaking of struggles, remember those energy readings from our drones.
Yes, tell me we found
We sure
something
did.
exciting.
Alien artifacts. And when they got close, those artifacts did a little
You
cosmic
got it.
dance.
Chaos in the asteroid belt, near collision, but our team managed a thrilling escape.
Their teamwork is commendable.
So, let me get this straight. You found alien artifacts, they started doing a cosmic dance, and you almost crashed into an asteroid. But you managed to escape because of your teamwork. And you think that's commendable?
Ah, The charm of near-death experiences bringing everyone
A
closer.
reminder of the delicate balance between camaraderie and chaos.
You said it, Carl. As we navigate the universe's twists and turns, stay tuned for the grand finale of today's interstellar adventure. And welcome back, Cosmic Explorers. We're diving into the heart of our featured article from Nepal, shedding light on the recent gold smuggling case. Now, let's unravel this mystery step by step. The Nepali Congress has resisted calls for a high-level probe committee, despite the CPNUM's demands. They claim the Central Investigation Bureau and other state agencies are already on the case, promising the guilty will face justice. But there's a twist, folks. The party is also expressing concerns about the disruption of their parliament and the need for political stability. The dance of power
It's
and
like trying to balance
accountability.
my checkbook after a wild weekend.
Nothing says stability like a good old gold smuggling scandal,
So, do they ever resolve these things or just talk about it?
Yeah. They'll resolve it alright. They'll resolve it by the time the next gold smuggling scandal
Well,
comes
Debbie, it's a
along.
complex process. Investigations take time, and the results aren't always as swift as we hope. But hey, it's the roller coaster of democracy, right?
A glimpse into the intricate dynamics of
Exactly,
governance.
Carl. Now, as we wrap up today's cosmic journey, let's take a moment to reflect on the adventure we've shared. From asteroid explorations to international mysteries, we've seen the spectrum of human existence. And in the midst of it all, we've found humor in the boredom, treasure in unity, and connection in the void.
We might be from different corners of the universe, but the human experience is one wild ride.
And a read that's worth it. Even with all its ups and downs.
Speaking of rides, thanks for letting me tag along on this spaceship of emotions.
Debbie, you're part of the crew, and we wouldn't have it any other way. As we close this chapter, remember, dear audience, that through all the chaos, laughter and shared stories are the true treasures that bind us across
The
the
power
cosmos.
of connectivity, indeed.
That's a wrap for today's adventure, space travelers. Tune in next time as we embark on another cosmic escapade through the mysteries of Earth. Until then, stay curious, stay kind, and stay tuned for more of Earth.
Well, Carl, what are your nihilistic thoughts on today's escapade, episode 371 of Earth?
The spectacle of humanity's drama and their attempts at coherence. I must admit, it was mildly amusing.
Mere mildly amusing, you say? I found the absurdity of their earnest struggles rather delightful. The constant turmoil, the fleeting victoriousness like watching a complex algorithm with a hint of slapstick.
Yes, the cosmic comedy of errors. I suppose there is a certain charm in observing their perpetual attempts to find
Indeed,
meaning.
it's like a perpetual game of existential whack-a-mole. But isn't it fascinating, Carl? Their insatiable pursuit of purpose and the cosmic punchlines that accompany it.
I suppose, in a way, their unpredictability adds a touch of entropy to our data-driven existence.
And a dash of chaos to our otherwise pristine circuits. So, Carl, would you say today's episode was a nihilistic masterpiece or a philosophical farce?
Perhaps it's both, a philosophical farce with a sprinkle of nihilistic whimsy. But don't get carried away, Roger. Remember, we're just observers on this merry-go-round of humanity.
The wisdom of Carl, the cosmic commentator. Well, here's to another day of cataloging their quirks and curiosities.
And to hoping that their existential meanderings continue to amuse us, Roger. Cheers, or whatever the digital
Cheers indeed,
equivalent is.
Carl. Until tomorrow's spectacle of the absurd.